Welcome back. We might have covered conjunctions before when we were talking about compound sentences, but this time we're going to talk about them separately as the last and the final uh, um, part of speech. This is the seventh part of speech, uh, referred to as conjunctions. So let's get into it. A conjunction is a part of speech used to join or link words, phrases, or clauses to each other. Conjunctions help to provide coherence to your writing by connecting elements between or within sentences and from one paragraph to the next in order to most effectively communicate your ideas to your reader. So it helps in enhancing coherence, which is also a concern when it comes to the SAT writing and language test. We're always talking about the meaning, conveying meaning, a complete thought or idea. Without the proper conjunction, this could not happen. This is not possible. So let's see how we use our conjunctions. Let's start off by introducing ourselves or familiarizing ourselves with types of conjunctions. First, first thing first, we got coordinating conjunctions or coordinators. We refer to them as fanboys often to integrate them in our memories. F for A, and, N, nor, B, but, O, or, Y, yet, and S, so. They connect ideas of equal structure or function. In a simple sentence, they might in a simple sentence, they might link two words, two phrases, or two dependent clauses. In a simple sentence, for example, Tariq and Ahmed are playing football. Dot. It's between you or the man with uh, with the snake tattoo, for example. Okay, here we used or. I love it for its benefits. I love tea for its benefits. The reason why I love tea. So, I study so I can succeed. Yet, uh, I'm a musician, yet not a good pianoist. Piano, meaning I don't know how to play the piano properly. I neither like her nor her sister, meaning I don't like both her and her sister. Okay, so these are examples of using the coordinating conjunctions in a simple sentence. In a compound sentence, there is a different conjugation, or there is a different punctuation, sorry. It's a different story. We use the coordinating conjunction to combine between two independent clauses. Two clauses that could be sentences on their own. The instructor was interesting and extremely knowledgeable about the subject. Here we're combining the word interesting and extremely knowledgeable. Two adjectives. The play was entertaining but disappointing. Entertaining but disappointing. Okay. Another two adjectives. I am a highly motivated and intelligent worker, so I should be considered for the job. That's why I should be considered for the job. Cause effect. Cause effect. Independent sentence, independent clause, another independent clause, conjoined using comma and a coordinating conjunction. This could be and if the two things are equal to one another, or if we're talking about the same thing. This could be but if we're talking about two opposing things. This could be or if we're talking about choices. It could be nor if we're talking about negative choices. It could be yet if there's a surprising result. It could be for if we are trying to justify one of the clauses or one of the ideas mentioned in one of the clauses. This is for coordinating conjunctions. As for correlative conjunctions, they come in pairs and function like coordinating conjunctions to connect equal elements. The most common correlative conjunctions are either or, neither nor, not only but also, whether or, both and. Either Miranda or Julia will fill the recently vacated position. That's in a simple sentence. Both the music and the lyrics were written by the same composer. Again, simple sentence, not compound. In a compound sentence, it's a different story. Okay? We use either or for this verb. I either want her to do the dishes or I would want to see her singing to me. Okay, so either this or that. Here we have I would want to see her singing to me. That's an independent clause. It can stand on its own. I either want her to do the dishes, also an independent clause, but conjoined with either and followed by or. This is in a compound sentence. We can use neither nor as well in a compound sentence. I drink neither milk nor do I drink coffee. So I don't drink both. Okay, remember, always we invert the verb and the subject after nor. Not only but also. I don't only like her, but I also adore her personality. That's in a compound sentence. Again, whether or. You are going to the party, for example, you are going to the party whether you like it or whether you do not like it. both and. I would want both Muhammad and Sarah, or both and here is usually rather used in a simple sentence rather than a compound sentence. But let me see if I can come up with an example where it's rarely used in a compound context. But I don't think I can at the moment. Why? Because both and are quite like way too close to one another. They should be it would be awkward to separate both. Semantically speaking, it would be quite awkward to separate both. So you will seldom see both and and uh, used in a compound sentence. Okay, that's it for coordinating and correlative conjunctions. Coordinating, fanboys, correlative, the compound conjunctions, a pair of words. The third type is subordinating conjunctions or subordinators, such as if, when, where, because, although, since, whether, and while. And they introduce a subordinate or dependent clause that is usually attached to an independent clause and signal the relationship between the clauses. So they're mainly used in a complex sentence. That's what they're saying here. If the director is unavailable, I will speak with her assistant. Here present tense to a future outcome, to a future possible outcome. When the speaker finished, the audience responded with tremendous applause. Okay, so here we have a dependent clause. Always when we have a subordinate conjunction in a clause, we call it dependent. This is the clause here, up till the comma. After the comma, we have the independent clause. We can actually invert this structure. We can start off with the audience. The audience responded with tremendous applause when the speaker finished. Here we actually drop the comma. We no longer need it. Okay, same goes to if. If the, for example, I will speak with her assistant. If the director is unavailable, we drop the comma. We don't need it anymore. The structure of the complex sentence is inverted. So it can start off with dependent and then independent, separated by a comma, or independent and dependent unseparated by anything. Remember, this is only the case in a complex sentence, not in a compound sentence where we have two independent clauses. Again, how do we determine an independent clause from dependent? We have to have these two elements. First, subject verb or subject and predicate, and a complete thought. By complete thought, I mean no subordinate conjunction in the clause. Here, after the comma, we don't have if, when, because, although, since. We have I will speak with her assistant. I, subject, will speak. The verb with her assistant is like extra. We call it a prepositional phrase. And it works as an adverb. Okay? We have all of the elements here. That's one. Two, we don't have a subordinate conjunction, so that's another one. This is confirmed that this clause is independent clause. It belongs to the independent clause family. As a general rule, if a subordinating or dependent clause precedes the independent clause, use a comma to separate the two clauses, as I said before. Okay, since the secretary was unable to find the file that's a subordinating or dependent clause, comma, the meeting was cancelled, independent clause. If I take alone the first clause, the clause before the comma, let's take this one, when the speaker finished. Okay, and consider it as a sentence. would you be able as a reader or as a receiver to understand what's going on when the speaker finished? Okay, we understand that at some point someone finished speaking, but we don't know what happened afterwards. We don't know much about it. That's all what we know. When the speaker finished, okay, what happened when the speaker finished? You will ask immediately. You will start investigating. Once you investigate for more information, that means that the sentence or the clause is not conveying complete meaning or complete thought. That's why it needs more. It relies, it depends on extra information. This extra information is called independent because on its own it can stand. If we omit this, we still can understand this on its own. The audience responded with tremendous applause. We understand that the audience responded to something, to someone, uh, uh, with like warm applause, maybe a standing ovation as well. So this is it for using subordinate conjunctions. That's how we punctuate. And here are some examples on inverting the structure of a compound, or sorry, of a complex sentence. There is usually no need for a comma when the dependent clause follows the independent clause. Like the dependent clause comes after the independent clause. Whereas when we drop the comma, there is usually, okay, I could not stay for the reception because I had another appointment. No comma. He was basically a good student who needed guidance for his teacher. No comma. Okay? Instead of starting it off with this way, the student who needed guidance from his teacher, and we stop here. Is that independent? Maybe it has all of the sentence elements, but does it have a complete thought? Does it tell us more about this student? No. It's just introducing the student who is about to do something, but we never knew about what's going to happen with him. So that's why we cannot consider it as a complete thought. The student who needed guidance from his teacher was basically a good student, or was basically good. We can do without a good. Was basically good. Dot. Now it makes more sense. So sometimes we have subordinate conjunctions such as who, whom, whose, which, that, and so. Okay? The man whose car is blue, we stop. Does it make any sense? No. So we need to carry on. The man whose car is blue has a crush on the mayor's daughter, for example. Okay? Or the the children whom I'm in love with are going to school right now. Because if you ask me whom are you in love with, I would say I'm in love with them. Okay, not I'm in love with they. We cannot say that. I'm in love with them. I'm in love with him. I'm in love with her. Once the answer is him, her, they, sorry, him, her, them, uh, us, okay, then uh, we ask whom instead of who. Who is used to ask about he, she, it, this type of pronouns. subjective pronouns, if you still remember the lesson about pronouns, not possessive or objective. If we are using the objective pronouns, we ask whom, objective pronoun. Now this no longer has to do with complex sentences. This is rather uh, a simple sentence. A simple sentence, uh, but we use the subordinate conjunction here. These are used as a subordinate conjunction because they make a clause dependent. That's why we consider them as a subordinate conjunction. If I say the bird that has for example, a scar on its wing, and I stop. We don't know much about this bird so far. We need more information. The bird that has scars on his wings is about to fly. Okay? Now let me remind you of how do we use whom, who, whose, which, and that, and what do we use them for usually? Again, we also refer to these subordinate conjunctions as relative pronouns, if you still remember the lesson about pronouns. So here's how we use them. Okay. For example, who and whom are used mainly for people. These pronouns can also be used sometimes to refer to animals that are like mentioned by name. If they have any name, we can use who and whom. For example, the musician who wrote this song is French. He's a French guy. The musician who wrote this song, I stopped here. Will it convey its meaning? No. The musician who wrote this song is French. This is the whole subject. It needs verb. The clause needs verb here to convey the meaning. Let's see how we can use whom. The witnesses whom I interviewed, like those who received the action of being interviewed, whom I interviewed, gave conflicting evidence. Gave conflicting evidence. Dot. The witnesses who I interviewed, so I'm still talking about the witnesses, specifically those whom I interviewed. It's like giving them an attribute. It's working as an adjective here to specify which kind of people I'm talking about. So here's the subject, here's the verb, gave, verb conflicting. What did they give? Conflicting evidence. That's the object. The evidence, of course. Which type of evidence? Conflicting. So here the object is being preceded by an adjective. That's it for who and whom. Let's see how which is used. Now which is used for animals generally or things. For example, Jason bought the top hybrid car which will help him save on gas. Now we put a comma when the information here is unnecessary. When it's part of the sentence, we drop the comma. We're no longer in need for the comma. Okay? For example, Lisa wore the shoes which she bought in Italy. What shoes did she buy? What did she buy? What shoes did she buy? She bought the shoes from Italy, or the shoes which she bought in Italy. Okay? The ones that she bought in Italy. The clause identifies the shoes here. This clause, which she bought in Italy. It gives an adjective. It identifies the shoes, the object. That's why it's essential here. We don't really need this, like Jason bought the top hybrid car, okay, which will help him save on gas. This is like extra, okay. It's not defining the it is defining the car, but not a very essential part. Like we already said, it's a top hybrid car. Okay, I think that's more than enough. That's why any extra information about the car, other than being top hybrid, would be extra, would be addition. So that's why we use the comma, and which is followed by, which will help him save on gas. Now that's like a dependent clause, but preceded by a comma, especially that is comma here is working as not to separate dependent and independent clause, but rather to introduce a new extra information. Okay. We can use different punctuation here. I know this is quite confusing, but bear with me. Like, I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Jason, for example, bought the top hybrid car dash it will help him save money or save gas or save on gas. Or we can use a colon as well. Jason car colon it will help him. Of course, we start off with a small letter, especially if it's not a quotation. Unless it's a quote or something like a proverb, then we are free to use, or we are free to capitalize the initial letter coming after the colon. It's a proverb, like, for example, an apple a day keeps doctor away. As in this example. My sister lies on, or relies on, fruits to keep on a healthy diet. Colon, an apple a day keeps doctors away. Dot. That's a proverb, okay? We use the colon to open for a proverb. Now that's a different story, but I'm just trying to uh, uh, talk about different ways of putting this. Like the comma here is not to separate between two clauses. It's rather to introduce extra information followed by which. That's like an exception. Okay. That also, the word that, which is a subordinate conjunction as well as a pronoun, relative pronoun rather, is also used in the same sense. That's how we use that. That can be used for people, animals, or things. It's like versatile. The musician that won the award is drunk. The musician that won the award. Okay? That's when that is essential. Okay? We can do without it sometimes. We can do without that. In this case, we can like omit that right away if we want. The musician that won the award is drunk. If the emphasis is on him being drunk rather than the one who won the award. Okay, but we give this information to be more specific or to give more insight. If this information is not essential, let's pretend that this is not essential. We don't need to know that he's the one who won the award, but it's just like extra to give more insight for the reader. So in this case, we put it between two commas and then we carry on. But if it's not, if it's like essential, like we need to use it to describe actually that won the award, okay, to describe the musician, to identify with the musician, what type of musician we're talking about, what person are we referring to, then we do not put a comma. That's for that. Now here are the usages of conjunctions. Use a conjunction to show an additional or similar idea. We use and or yet coordinating conjunctions not only, but also both and correlative conjunctions after, although, even though, since, to, in the subordinating conjunctions. These are used to indicate or to show or emphasize addition or ideas similar to the ones that we just mentioned. To show contrast, opposition, we use but, also yet as well, either or, neither nor, although, even though, unless, whereas. So sometimes the same conjunction, can serve in many different ways. Here to show cause and effect, for, so, because, since, if, so that, and so on. To show the relationship of time, and, but, so, when, whenever, until, before, after, while, once, as soon as long as. To show the relationship of place, and, but, either, or neither, either or, neither nor, where, wherever. This is for place. To show purpose, and so not only but also, whether or, both, and in order that, so that, to show purpose, so that I can do this, so that I can do that, in order to do that. Is here for both, eating and praying, for example. He's not only here for cracking jokes, but also to make us laugh. He's here whether you like it or not. Okay. To show relationship of place. Neither neither Lebanon nor Turkey are good countries to live in. For example, that's a very depressing example, but that's what I came up with. Either or. Either Romania or France are good options. Okay, so we're talking about places. Wherever you go, I will follow you. Where you are right now is quite good. Whenever. Whenever you're ready, I'm ready. I'm not gonna go unless you are ready. I'm gonna keep on raising my hand until you call my name. I will answer you before you go to the bathroom. I will answer you after you arrive in the airport. Okay, this is for time. To show cause and effect. Because she loves me, I will give her more attention. I'm standing here for I was waiting for my turn. I'm studying, so most probably I will succeed. To show contrast, the man who is left-handed is skillful, whereas the man who uses his right hand is uh, uh, not that clever. I'm going to forgive you even though you were rude to me. So that's quite contrasting because sometimes when someone is rude, he is met with different consequence. But here, the person or the speaker decided to forgive, okay, which is unusual. Same goes to yet, which is also a surprising result. Additional when we have something additional. Okay, it's self-explanatory. That's it for conjunctions. Thank you for watching. See you on the next video. We're done with parts of speech. I hope you have mastered all of the skills that we went over so far. Up next, we're going to talk about a few tips and strategies to approach writing and language tests properly. So stay tuned.